Yes. So now we have to move on to the demand of foreign exchange. Demand for and supply of foreign exchange. In that we are coming to the first part, that is the demand of foreign exchange. So here you can see the demand curve for goods itself. So that is x-axis and the x-axis and the y-axis and a downward sloping demand curve. That means the price of the here we have taken the example of US dollar as the what is it, foreign currency. So price of the US dollar is the rate of interest or the exchange rate, and quantity of US dollar is the quantity at that particular rate of interest what quantity is traded. So y-axis represents the price of US dollar, that is the rate of interest, and the x-axis represents the quantity of US dollar. So the demand curve as itself, it is showing an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity of US dollar. So for what all reasons we demand foreign currency, that is the thing you have to look at now. So what are the demand sources? First one is for importing goods and services. For importing goods and services, we need foreign currency because we are paying them, right? So we need their currency. So we demand foreign currency. Then for making transfer payments in the form of gifts, donations, remittances to families, etc. That means suppose I have a relative there in US. I have a relative there. So for his or her birthday, I am sending some gift. So then also I need that country's currency. Then for making income payments in the form of profits, dividends, interest, compensation of employees, etc. So suppose I am running an MNC. My MNC is having a branch in Europe, like USA as well as France. So when I am giving my employees salary there, I need that particular country's currency. Then for making investment abroad, suppose I want to buy some shares of another company in another country, then also I need their currency. Then for lending money and for making repayments to foreign countries, if our government has taken loans from other countries, when we repay them, we want to repay in their own currency. So for all these reasons, we need demand for foreign currency. Once again, I am taking you to the demand curve of foreign currency. That is price of US dollar in the y-axis, quantity of US dollar in the x-axis, and a downward sloping demand curve showing an inverse relationship between price of US dollar and quantity of US dollar. That is, there exists an inverse relationship between the demand for foreign currency. I hope it is clear now. Then we have to move on to the supply of foreign currency. Supply of foreign currency. See, as I told you, demand and supply of foreign currency deals with the flexible exchange rate system. In fixed exchange rate system, you don't need such things because government or the monetary authority fixes the exchange rate, right? So coming to the flexible exchange rate, you need a proper demand and supply for fixing or for determining the correct exchange rate. So that is why we are dealing with the demand and supply of foreign currency. So the next is supply of foreign currency. So in supply of foreign currency, for what all things others demand foreign currency, that is our currency. For exporting goods and services, when we export, they have to pay us money. So they have to pay money in our currency, right? So we have to supply the foreign currency. Then transfer payments from that country. That means like he or she giving a birthday gift to me. So then also they need our currency. Then for income, profits, dividend, for making financial assets, for buying shares, for repaying the loans, all such things. For a person in abroad, they need our currency. So that is supply of foreign currency. So for them, our currency is foreign currency, right? So for us, US dollars currency is foreign currency, or other countries' currency is foreign currency. So that is actually like a give and take policy. That is it. So if you can see here, I am showing you the supply of foreign currency in a diagram. Like in the same as in the case of demand itself, it is the price of US dollar in y-axis, quantity of US dollar in x-axis, and you have a supply curve of foreign currency, that is a upward sloping supply curve showing there exists a positive relationship between price and quantity of US dollar. So what does that mean? If in the case of demand, if rate of interest is more, what will happen? Quantity will be supplied less, or quantity will be demanded less for foreign currency. But here, if price of US dollar is more, that means the rate of interest is more US dollar will be, or more domestic currency will be supplied. Okay, so that is the connection between demand and supply of foreign currency. So that is demand and supply of foreign currency. In the next session, we have to look the determination of equilibrium under flexible exchange rate system.